Hi, my name is Muhammad Usman. I am the CEO of UNIAL Solutions, and in this video we are going to discuss about what is Concordium and all the concepts about Concordium and why we use Concordium and why I do recommend to use Concordium and how UNIAL Solution can assist you in your Concordium projects. So Concordium is a simple layer 1 compliance ready blockchain. Like different layer 1 blockchain exists in the world like the Ethereum, the same like Concordium is a layer 1 compliance ready blockchain. So why I do recommend to use Concordium and what are the top reasons for using Concordium? It have lot of reasons, but here are the some top reasons for this recommendation. The first one, it's ID layer, like it's providing a top ID layer in which we identify the real human with the wallet. Like there are the identity providers who validate this is the real person beyond this wallet, and due to this it's compliance ready and regulation ready blockchain. The very important thing for this, the stable transaction fees. Like in lot of blockchains, as a blockchain developers, we feel this issue as well. Like different companies don't know in start how much it is going to we have to pay, how much we have to pay for this thing. So this blockchain having the specific unique characteristic, that is stable transaction fee in this. The next is zero knowledge proof, that we will discuss in detail in next slides, and the sponsored transaction, why this will be helpful. So moving forward to the smart contract, as I said, this video purpose is to know about all basic concepts or related concepts about the blockchain and specifically Concordium blockchain that will be help us in our future things about when we are going to develop in the Concordium blockchain. So first concept is account. Account is simply addressable variable in which we can store the funds, and the account credentials are the simply the owner have been verified by an identity provider, and in that the person is having the key and their password, that is called that account credential. And the alias is basically a very great functionality in this. It's a sub account, and we can alias name of that account. Like one account I have want to use for my personal expenses, one account I want to use for my company expenses, one account I use for my investment in the NFTs, etc. So these are the sub accounts with a different names that we can assign to them according to their use. And the next is anonymity revoker. It's a basically authority who have power to know the identity of participant. Why that is needed, and this is the very great uniqueness for this, like lot of different negativity is being done by using blockchain, but in fact the blockchain is a really great technology for the positivity. The people and the governments and all startups can take benefits from its transparency, and due to that it's being introduced in Concordium blockchain. Like there will be an authority who has power to know the identity of participant. Like this account belongs to this owner, and these all accounts have the same owner. And the next is the attributes. Attributes is simple, like we are having in the classes attributes, same like that, in which we contain the user data such as date of birth, country, and its residents, etc. Baker. So Baker is a node that participates in production of blocks. In simply, it's a node like that is going to participate in the production of blocks. We can refer is to as a baking as well. Baker pool is a simple like a baker or delegators that collectively pool their stake to participate in the consensus protocol and for the returning the awards and earning the awards. So best block, it's as all of you know, it's straightforward. The last block on the best chain is called best block. Best chain is the best chain, like having the most finalized blocks, and the most blocks after the last finalized blocks is called best chain. Block is a simple unit of a blockchain. Like as you know, different nodes connected with each other and making, that's we call the blocks, and each unit connected and verified by different consensus protocols. So in the simple basic unit of the blockchain is called a block. So it's possibly empty, and it can have chain, and it will have the transaction that contains from the ledger and different thing, and it can be empty as well. So a branch. So in simply a chain of blocks is called branch. Build. So build is in a command. Like when we are, I am again saying, please see these all concepts in very attentively, because when we are going to build on the blockchain and we are using these things in during developing the Concordium blockchain things, so these things will be very helpful. Like build is a command that takes smart contract module written in Rust and create a WASM module, and then that can be deployed on the chain. So build command will be used. So same, it's cargo-concordium. It's a simple extension, or we can say that it's a plugin that is like we will be using for Concordium blockchain the Rust language or C++. In the preferably we will be using the Rust language, and cargo-concordium is extension, or we can say it's a plugin that we will be used for during Concordium blockchain development by using Rust language. So catch-up is simply a mechanism which a node receive message that may have been missed. Like it can be possible sometime a node is offline. So when node become online again, so that message whatever is sent to be that node will be received, and this mechanism is called catch-up. CCD. So CCD is the currency of Concordium blockchain. Like the same Ethereum ETH is, and for Bitcoin we use BTC. So same like that, CCD is the currency of blockchain that we can be used to share transaction, share payments with different users, or we can say by deploying or initializing the smart contract on the mainnet, as well as we can use it for some reward or purchasing NFT or purchasing different type of assets, digital assets from this. So CCDScan is simple search engine for data on the blockchain. A chain, again, it's a sequence of blocks, like starting from the genesis block in which each successively block points to the predecessor. And moving forward, what is the selection rule of a chain? It's simply having these 4 criteria, like a chain with the most finalist blocks or longest chain, which last block has the earliest slot in the chain. We will study in next what is the slot, and which last block has the largest block in the chains, as well as which last block has the largest hash in the chains. Challenge to making sure that zero knowledge proofs cannot be reused. So let's suppose I am having the account, I have a zero knowledge proof and identity, and the verifier identify that, but some other person wants to hack me or wants to use the same for that. So in that challenge help us to protect from there. And the next Concordium client, again we will use, this is a command line tool that we will use in the Concordium blockchain that ships with the Concordium distribution. Consensus, it's a protocol, it's a the process by which nodes agree which transaction have occurred and in which order. This consists of taking and finalization. Like the cooldown period, as the name is saying, cooldown period is a period of time during which a transaction is frozen. And the next, it's a very important and unique protocol in this BFT, abbreviated by Concordium, Byzantine for tolerance. It's basically a consensus protocol of this Concordium blockchain. This basically protocol offers high transaction throughput and lower confirmation time because a block can be produced as soon as the previous block has been signed. So due to this unique protocol, by using in Concordium blockchain, the transaction is being done more in the speedy way than the other layer 1 blockchain. And the credential holder is simply the user holding a credential. For one account, there multiple credential holders can be as well. Now, credential registry contract, this is a simply smart contract that used by issuers to verifiable credential to use. Like in the one account, we want to add different users. In use case, let's suppose we are having a property, right? And for that, we are having different owners of that property. Like 30% of this owner, 20% this, 30% this, then 10% this, and again 30% is this owner. So we are having the 5 owners of the same property. So we will use this credential registry smart contract to verify by issuer, like this is our owner as well, and that he can use this contract as well. So cryptographic proof is a simple method by which one party, the prover, can prove the another party, the verifier. The same like the previous we discussed about, like one person, one wallet having the multiple owners, so that can be verified. And the decryption key is it's like dual to encryption key, in contrast of encryption key, which is public, and this key is only known to the account holder. And the delegator is an account that contributes to stake a Baker pool, as we discussed in previous slide. Deploy is the command which we use to build, that takes basically, in the previous command we built the WASM file from the Rust file. Now by deploy command, we take that WASM file for a smart contract module and deploy it on the chain. Next, encryption key. It's a simple public key associated to an account which is used to encrypt all shielded accounts on the endpoint. It's like the point at which an API is called. Like, what is API? It's a basically simple communication between different programs. And if we move forward, the entry point, it's like the calling a function, invoking a function, an invocable function of the smart contract that usually takes argument. Let's suppose there is an account. We are going to buy, or we are having a sales CRM software in which we want to call data of leads. All the leads I have gotten in this day. So we need to call the function of that is written in the Rust or whatever language. So that is the entry point of invocable functions. Epoch is a very famous term. It's a time period that is approximately 1 hour on the testnet and mainnet. It's a simple time period. And finalization is the process by which a block is marked to be finalized. Genesis block, it's as every it's a very famous term. It's the first block in a chain. And identity is simple, is any person or anything, or this unique quality or unique name or whatever, that unique ID of that person. But in Concordium, as I shared previously, it's a very uniqueness in which one's real world identity must be verified and recorded by an identity provider before creating an account on Concordium blockchain. Of course, I will share you the demo of this as well in our next videos. Identity issuer is a simple who verified identity and issue the identity to someone. And identity object, yes. There are now two things. The first, in the blockchain, we need to know who is the person beyond that wallet, as well as, on the other hand, we need to protect as well that everyone cannot possible to know who is the person due to the hacking purpose or for. So in this blockchain, both are implemented. So identity object is basically created as an object by identity providers who verified like this person is beyond this account, but it's not public to everyone. The same identity provider or organization that perform off-chain identification of user. In previous, like there will be now government who can know who is the person. I will discuss in later how Concordium is implementing that. Initial account is simply an account submitted to the chain by the identity provided during the process of requesting a new identity. Initialize is an action that creates a new smart contract instance. An instance, what is instance? It's a smart contract module together with a specific state and an amount of CCD token. Multiple smart contract instances can be created from the same module as well, by the way. And invoker means same like calling something or calling something into effect or calling any function or any specific functionality. Issuer is the party issues Web3 ID credentials. Leader election, it's a predetermined in each round. In each round of a predetermined leader among the bakers should produce a block. Round leaders are determined each epoch redefined as a fixed time duration. Leaders are determined from a leader election nonce that is updated each epoch. What is election nonce? We will discuss, of course, in next slide. Lottery power again during the previous slide, like in the leader election we use the lottery power. It's relative stake and is therefore proportional to the staked amount for sure. And the mainnet again, like all the other blockchain, layer 1 blockchain like Ethereum, BTC, etc. Concordium is also having the main network, which is basically in 2021 become live. Membership proof, it's a proof determined if an attribute of a user identity is included. There are two terms here we are discussing membership proof. In this we see user identity which is included, like it means yes. Let's suppose a set is he is living in Europe, he is living in USA, he is living in Asia, yes or not. So it include in a given set which is included, like it's living in Europe. Node is simply a participant in the Concordium network. And the nonce, there are basically it's a randomized value. Nonce is a randomized value. We are having the three nonce type: the block nonce, leadership election nonce, and transaction sequence number. Block nonce is simple, a randomized value included by the baker in each block. It's used to define the leadership election nonce. The leadership election nonce is again a randomized value that is updated each epoch, that is used to seed the leader election process. Membership. First we see membership proof. Now we are seeing non-membership proof. So non-membership proofs is an attribute that user identity is not included. In that we are having which user identity included, like someone is living in Europe, and in this someone is not resident of Europe. Off-chain, it's like when we are developing something on blockchain, on any blockchain, the same like that on the Concordium blockchain, there are some lot of functionality that are being happen outside of the blockchain, and that is called off-chain, like registration of users with their some simple things, or verifying their digital certificates and identity, etc. On-chain is activity that is propagated through the concordium network. It means the action which are being happen on blockchain is called on-chain, and of course if it will be on concordium blockchain, so it's called on-chain concordium. Payday is a very interesting and our most lovable day, and we like the most always who are dealing in the blockchain. The payday is a day. Payday is the point which new CCDs, because we are discussing about the concordium. So when new CCD are minted and rewards to baker and delegates are distributed, like we are the bakers and new CCD minted, so we are going to get rewards. Passive delegation, again, where a delegator's stake is effectively distributed among all the baker pools. Private key, again, as all of you know, it's a random secret string that is used in cryptography and cryptocurrency to prove ownership of an account. And qualified authority, yes, this is what I discussed in previous slides. Like there will be a government body that has the authority to act in a relevant jurisdiction, that can see who is owning. And quorum certificate, that is a very uniqueness in this as well. When the members of the finalization committee finalize the block and their collective signatures are aggregated to form a quorum certificate. Range proofs, like it's a range proof asks a user to prove that they meet an attribute within a range of value. Like someone having the age of 18 to 75, if we want to implement this type of use case, so that is called range proof. To reveal an attribute, this can be used in identity verification proof. Round, it's it's the replacing slots in the concordium BFT protocol is called round. And Rust, it's a multi-paradigm general purpose programming language. I suggest you must try the Rust language. It's a great to do a programming. I will try to make some videos on Rust development as well for you. And we are using smart. It's a very fun building in Rust. You will see it's a fun because it's multi-paradigm and general purpose programming language. Why I am saying that is very interesting, because sometimes we are working like not all other language working like we are working on the high level languages, but in Rust sometimes, not all the time, sometimes we feel we are direct with hardwares. So that's why the schema. This is the term that you are going to face a lot of errors. To be honest, we are going to face a lot of errors due to this term when you are going to develop in the concordium. So at this stage I will say, understand what is this. So it's a description of how to present bytes in more structured representation. Like as I shared, the Rust is going to play some time, because in concordium, I always say, if we struggle a good during the programming, so our client struggle less during the using, because it's more optimized, more speedy, more scalable. And if we do during programming just very quick things and ABC things like that, and system will not be scalable and not be speedy, so that can be. So that's why we are using Rust, that we can play directly sometime with the registers, so blockchain response and all the protocols become very fast. So schema is basically, now if we understand again, it's a description how to represent bytes, because now we are playing with the register. So how to represent bytes in a more structured representation. Secret recovery phrases, it's when like we are going to create a wallet, we will have the complete phrase, like a backup phrase, memory phrase, and we can say group of random words. So this is called recovery phrase that we must have to save on some place when we are creating wallet. Shielded amount, it's amount of CC that is encrypted within the public key of an account. And shielded balance is if we are having two type of shielded balance, self balance and incoming shielded amount. Like single shielded amount is called self balance and list of shielded amounts is called incoming shielded amount. Shielded transfer, like shielded balance of an account to a shielded balance of another account, it's called transfer. Shielding, it's a basically action of transferring a part of the public balance to shielded balance. Slot, it's simply in the blockchain the time is divided into equally sized units. It's called slots. And the smart contract, as if you know, it's a computer program or a transactional protocol that is intended to automatically execute a control or document events or any action. And the staked amount, it's like bakers can have part of the balance of their amount staked. The amount that is staked remains locked, while staked and cannot be transferred or moved in any way. And during the payday, we are going to get reward of this staked amount. So here is the question, like what is payday? You think in your mind what is payday? A list statement, a list represented to a wallet, simple, that is called state. And if we next move to the testnet, testnet again like the main net, it's a testnet and single user can deploy on multiple testnet as well. Timeout certificate, it's a simple, like if leader fails to produce a block in the round, so or not enough signature were gathered for a quorum certificate, then the finalizers will instead sending timeout message which are aggregated a form of a timeout certificate. Total effective stake, it's a total amount of stake in the baker pools is called total effective stake. Transaction, it's an automatic operation that defines change of state in ledger. Let's suppose it's someone sending or receiving CCDs, so it's the transaction. Transaction memos is an additional data a user can provide when making a transfer. It's called transferring memo, like I am sending this amount to this person for this purpose. Transfer with schedule, it's like we are going to send someone CCD, but we schedule it, like I am going to send you after 10 days. So it's bound with now time. Moving forward, transaction sequence number, it's again like who is going to first and then first, it's a sequence number. It's order number given to that transaction. Unshielding is again the action of transferring a part of the shielded balance. The shielding is transferring the whole balance to shielded balance, and the action of transferring a part of is unshielding. User identity certificate, like this certificate is issued to individual or entity once their real world identity has been verified. When we are going to create a Concordium wallet, I will show you first we have to prove our real world identity to get the Concordium wallet. So verifiable credential is simply that contains some information about the individual or any company that does not necessitate to anonymity, revocation, or such as membership in a club or loyalty program or education. Verifiable presentation is simply tamper evident and encoded in such a way that authorship of the data can be trusted after a process of cryptographic verification. Verifier is simply that party that checks user verifiable credential. It's called verifiable. Wallet, as all of you know, it's a symbol who allows cryptocurrency users to store and retrieve their digital assets. Web3 ID is an extension of the core protocol identity. WebAssembly, it's a basically defines a protocol of binary code format, because as you know, every programming, we are human, we are doing coding in high level language, but the machines are understanding the binary code machine language. So WebAssembly is basically a protocol that defines that binary code format that is being converted our Rust code into machine language to run on the Concordium blockchain. Winning probability is simply the probability that baker wins in a given round. Zero knowledge proof. This is one of my favorite concepts in this. A method by which a user, the prover, can prove an other party, like the verifier, that the user meets a requirement without revealing anything beyond that. Zero knowledge proofs generated by the wallet are non-interactive. They are verifiable forever in the future without further proven interaction. Let's suppose, for making it simple, there is a use case of real estate. There is a broker. There is a we will have three persons who are dealing with it. One is buyer, one is broker, and one is landlord. So now broker come and wants to place a property and want to mint the property, but technically he cannot mint that property because he is the not owner of that property. So now that broker become the verifier and send request that can be proven. He will send request to that owner. Now he will prove that yes, you can mint that, and then the buyer can invest on that. So in this case, it will having a very big use case. Like we are having the CRM on the blockchain, and we are adding some company as our client, right? In my website, I want to place this is my client, but in actual, if in real those people are my clients, so I will send request to that person that I want to mint you as a my client, prove that for me. So he will be verified on that. So in these cases, zero knowledge proof, this is a very unique thing, and I am very happy to implement that for some of my Concordium blockchain clients, specifically in SHC housing that we recently delivered to the Concordium blockchain. In that we implemented, and this is called the sponsor transaction as well. So finally, let's build projects on Concordium blockchain together. Discuss with us, discuss with me. Here is our website, here is our cell number, and let's build Concordium together with UNIAL solutions. Thank you so much.